for attending today's presentation. So today me and my partner Rizky and Nugraha gonna present about the restaurant reservation database. Uh, what will we discuss is about database design, what is inside the structure and all of the table, including each of the query and every every code to insert, remove, add, or modify the data or the table. So let's present it. Start from the system analysis. The system analysis in this project is the business owner wants to check reservation at his restaurant which is currently holding a grand opening. Then the database maker will create several tables to enter data about the reservation from the customer. In this database, the database developer creates 5 main tables, namely the menu table, the room table, the customer table, the reserve table, and the reservation detail table. And there is also an additional table, namely the audit table, to see what the contents of the update menu table are. And also the developer made several store procedures to make it easier to carry out procedures such as viewing, adding, updating, and deleting data. And this is our database design. You can view it. Same like the system analysis. All the tables that we create was described in the second pictures. Yes, there is room table, reserve table, customer table, and the menu table, and the reserve table was linked to the other 3 tables. Okay, the list in a structure, there are customer table, menu table, air detail, reserve, room. Okay, so this is the query. This is query to create the table menu. You just need to give the command of create table and then menu and then ID menu integer 30 not null auto insert and all the rest. And this table has the primary key such as the ID menu, and the index is in m name, and the result is this in the below. So let's jump to the query of the customer table. You just need to, same as before, you need to create a table and the name of the table customer, and the primary key in this table is ID underscore cus, and the index is in the customer name, and the result is below. Okay, the next table is room table. Same as before, create table with the name of the table is room, and the primary key is ID underscore room, and the index, there are 2 index. The first one is the room theme, and the second one is room facilities. The result is below. And the next is query to create reserve table. First one, you have to create the table and the name of the table reserve, and it's linked in with the customer table primary key and the room table primary key. Okay, the primary key of this table is ID underscore reserve, and there are 2 foreign key, like I said before, is from the ID customer and ID room. There are 2 index inside this table. There are booking date and total person. The resource showed below. The next one is the error detail table. This is the query to create the error detail table. Just create the table with the name of error detail. This is collect information from the reserve table such as customer name, email, phone number, and the theme. The primary key from this table is detail ID, and it takes the foreign key from the reservation ID. And the name is ID underscore reserve. They are inside of this table. There are customer name as index. This is the first one is the query to add data in table menu. Like before, we already have some menu, and we need, oh sorry, the before it we doesn't have any menu, and we need to add some menu, right? Or maybe in the future you have to add the new menu or new facility. We can add it with code insert into menu when the values is your menu and the price, and the result is below. The second one is query to update data in table menu. If the before was add and now is about to update, maybe you want to change the menu name or the menu price. So this is the query. You just need to type update menu and then set price. In this query, the price is like the columns. In the price columns, we set 120,000, where from ID underscore menu 2. So we're gonna change the price of the second rows of the menu, right? And that is pizza Italiano. We don't need to add the name of the menu because we use the code of the second rows from the menu table, and the result is below. So this is the query to insert data. The query is you need to insert into with the to the room table, and the values is like this, the above query, and the result is below. Next is query to update data in table room, same as before. Update room and set facility with the caption of just take orders without hanging out, with where ID underscore room 3, same like the third rows of the facility columns. The result is below. And the query to delete data in table room, you just need to type delete from room where ID room 3. Let's remove the third rows from the room table. Yeah, if you compare it from before, there we have 3 rows, but now we only have 2 rows, right? Okay, that's all from me.
Okay, my name is Rizky Nugraha, and in this section, I will explain you about the query to insert data in table customer. There are two data. The first is insert into customer values null because auto increment, and the name customer is Rizky, and this is the email and also the number of phone. Okay, the second one is insert into customer using the head of the table, name cast, email, and phone. And the values Jason, and this is the email, Jason Raynold, and this is the of the number phone. Okay, next is how to do query to add data in table reserve. The first is insert into the reserve values new, and also the booking date and the ID customer from the table customer, and ID room from the room table, and also the total person. Okay, this is the result. There are to do data. Okay, next is query to add data in table or detail or reservation detail. There are two data also. The values null auto increment. First is detail ID reserve and the name cast and the email and also the phone and the theme of the room that the customer reserve. Okay, now is query store procedure to display all menu data. The first is we make the procedure, create procedure, the name of to call is food and select all from menu, table menu. And then after that, we can call the procedure using the name of create procedure is food, call food. And the result in it is there are pizza black pepper, pizza Italiano, pizza Americano. And then how to query store procedure to add menu. First is delimiter, create procedure, tambah food for the name in part m name varchar 30 in part price integer 50 begin insert into menu m name price values per m name and per price and delimiter. And then after that we can call using the name of the procedure. The name is tambah food. For example, call tambah food and the menu name and also the price and the result in this table. For example, is pizza me. In this table is the ID menu is 4 because auto increment, and then the price is 50,000. And then about the update menu, and this is the delimiter, create procedure, edit food, the name of the procedure, and ID menu, and also the menu name, and the par price, integer 50. And then we can begin update menu set, mname par mname price same with the par price, where ID menu same with the par ID menu. And then after that we call the procedure using the call edit food, which ID menu is 4, and then the update name. For example, before is pizza me, and now I want to update about the pizza me special. Also about the price is 80,000, and then this is the query store procedure to delete menu. For example, this is create procedure and the name is delete food in par ID menu integer and begin delete from menu where ID menu same with the par ID menu. And then we can call about the delete food and then which the ID menu we want to delete in the table. For the example, call delete food 4 and then the result is the ID menu in table is deleted. Okay, this is the view. We can use the view reservation. In this view, we want to view about the reservation and the reservation detail. Then this is the query to create the view. Okay, the create view reservation as select ID reserve, detail ID, booking date, ID customer, name customer, email, phone, ID room, them, and total person. And from the reservation detail as date like this, and inner join reserve as right. On the ray.id reserve, same with date ID reserve. And then how about the call to view reservation? In this, select all from the reservation. Then the output is in this table, there ID reserve, detail ID, booking date, ID customer, name, email, phone, ID room, and total person. Okay, now the trigger. Before creating the trigger, we will create a menu audit table. In this menu audit, there are ID for the menu audit, auto increment, and the ID menu, and the menu name, price, change date, the time is now, and the action. Okay, this is the structure about the table that we made. Okay, now we create the trigger for the update for the menu. Okay, this is the create trigger before menu update, before update on menu for each row. Insert into menu audit set action updated, and the ID menu same with the old ID menu, m name same with the old m name, price same with the old price, and the change date is now. Okay, for the example of the trigger in update data, we can call the edit food. We want to edit the food, which is the ID menu is 1, and the name is cheese pizza, and the price is 130,000 rupiah. And then the menu audit table will look like this. This is the ID menu where updated, and this is the before updated, and the price, change date, and the action. Okay, thank you for my presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.